Okay. Hi, everybody. Here we are again, part 3. Okay. So let me just, for those who are just stumbling upon part 3 and they haven't checked with part 1, I just want to share that in part 1, I had a disclaimer that I said, I have not figured out everything about life or confidence. What I have learned and also have lived is 54 years, and I have experienced a lot of the things that I'm talking about. So I want to share it with people who are looking for ways to build confidence. And so basically, go to part 1 and 2. They're just 10 minutes long and catch up with where we're at. So if you haven't listened to part 1 and 2, I recommend you do that because we're on number 6. Okay. So number 6 is don't make your decisions based on what others think you should do. Make decisions based on yourself by checking in with yourself and thinking about that. Okay. So this is a big conversation and a big topic. For all the parents out there, I basically have a disclaimer where I said, if you're like not an adult yet, where you're responsible for yourself and you're living under your parents' roof or some care provider, obviously you need to do whatever your security and your safety is requiring of you. Sometimes that may not even be healthy or even legal, but hopefully you can get help. Like if you're being abused or something like that, you can get help from agencies that are out there available. But I'm just talking about personal sovereignty. Okay. And so some of this may apply for when you become an adult, if you're actually still, under the age of adulthood. Okay. So and normally I freeform, but I actually wrote down some notes because I wanted to be concise in my 10 minutes. Okay. So I wrote some notes here. So it's good to learn lots of perspectives. So when I said like base things based on what's right for you, I do recommend that you allow people to share, their thoughts. I think it's important to listen to what other people have to contribute to your life. Maybe it's going to give you some thoughts and ideas that will help you make your own decisions about what's best for you. I do recommend, being open. When you're confident, you can actually listen to what other people have to say because you know that ultimately you're the decision maker of your life. So you don't have fear about hearing other people's opinions. You allow people to have their opinions and you have yours. So that's actually a sign of confidence, being able to allow people to express what they want to say. And then you go on and make your own decision that's best and right for you. So I'm just saying that when you hear other people's perspectives, you pick and choose, you take what works for you and you let go of the rest. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then don't worry about it. Just keep moving on. So it can help you make a wise, informed decision. Once you get a lot of perspectives and you check in with yourself, that's when you get to understand, like all the aspects of what it is that you're deciding. So I basically wrote, and this was just like today, I just wrote these notes. So it says, choose the decision for yourself based on what you're willing to live with. Okay. So when you're making your informed decision after hearing other people's perspectives and confidently allowing them to speak their thoughts and truth, when you make your decision for yourself, you ask yourself, am I comfortable with the good and the bad consequences or benefits that will come from this decision that I'm making? Am I comfortable living with these? And for the most part, you're probably going to have to live with a decision your whole life because it's going to make a little notch in your memory about that choice. So, sometimes we have to forgive ourselves for some of the choices that we made, and we just have to say, that's just where I was at that time in my life. And that's where I was making decisions from, but I have the freedom and the right to choose differently at any moment. So just knowing that provides you with peace. But if it's something permanent, like, I don't know, in my old days, tattoos were a big decision, like, because they say you're going to live with it for the rest of your life. But now I think they have tattoo removal. So it's not even like as much of a thing to make a decision. That's just an insignificant decision I'm talking about, because tattoos are everywhere. So I'm just talking about something that is considered permanent. Maybe it's, marrying somebody, and even that's temporary, but you got to live with the decision for your whole life. So make sure it's a wise decision and it's something you really want to do. So I wrote here, when making a decision, ask yourself, am I willing to accept the good and the bad? Yeah. If the answer is yes, then you move forward with your decision and you have an affirmation to do it. If the answer is no, then accept the no as a sign that you shouldn't do it. So basically, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to add one more. There's a book out there by Don Miguel Ruiz, the senior, and he wrote a book called The Four Agreements. And the first agreement is to not take things personally. So when you come from that place and you realize that everybody's operating in their own ecosystem of things that they experienced and things that happened to them to help them operate and live and be who they are throughout life, then you recognize that, people are coming from their perspective. What I want to hopefully encourage, inspire, and instill in those who are finding this video is to find what it is for you to be your best self and just continue to navigate life with the intention and the foundation of you wanting to be your best self. When you're wanting to be your best self, you're living your best life as you see fit, as you can, as much as is possible for you at this stage of your life, and recognize that life is a constant evolution and change. And that India Ari, in one of her songs, she said the only thing constant in the world is change. And I have a little saying in my bedroom. It's like the first thing I see when I wake up in the morning, because it's in front of me, and it says change is good. And it's just a reminder that change happens and change can be good and not to be feared. So we're obviously going to have a part 4, because the second half of this topic was how to identify insecurity. I think that deserves to be a video all by itself. So I'm going to have a 10-minute video about how to identify insecurity and what to look out for and how to navigate life knowing what are some of the signs. I don't know everything. I haven't written a book or anything. I'm just basing it based on information that I've lived through, I've experienced, and I have, recognized in myself. Okay. And then others. All right. Because we all have opportunities where we have situations that we have insecurity. Some of us have certain pockets of our lives where we have insecurities. And then that's obviously, if that's uncomfortable for you, then it's something you can work on and that you can work on improving. So the Oneness Junkie podcast and YouTube channel is about self-healing and self-development. There are lots of episodes. I have guests typically. When I don't have a guest, but I just have something to share, I make a little video like this one. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to go listen to some of the audio podcasts that I have from the last year, where I had 25 episodes and guests that I talked to, they're all about people who are spending their time and talents to making the world a better place. And I hope to contribute in this channel to help bring wisdom and nuggets to those who are seeking what it is that I'm talking about. So Part 4 is coming up, how to identify insecurities in yourself and in others. Okay, bye.